Welcome back everybody, MC here with another video, and today I want to show you guys how to defeat SKELETRON in Terraria. This will work across all difficulties. This footage that you're watching is in expert mode. I have done master mode and I use the exact same strategy in both modes, to be honest, and of course you can do it in journey mode and in normal mode. First things first, build a nice arena. Build an arena that is longer than it is tall. It's all about length when it comes to the SKELETRON arena because you need room to move around. Second of all, make sure you light it up very well so you can see what you're doing, and also make sure you get the slime mount. You saw me using that a couple seconds ago. I'd also recommend having the nurse nearby. You could turn auto pause on to use the nurse if you like, but since the new update, you can no longer heal completely under the influence of auto pause. The game will unpause while you're in the middle of healing. And I'd also recommend putting heart lanterns down in the arena, just basic stuff. You can also use fireplaces. And if you really want to go ham, you can use honey pots as well, so you can dip yourself in honey. So the fight itself is probably one of the hardest fights in the game because you don't have access to a lot of key items, including the cobalt shield, which stops for knockback, which means if you get hit by SKELETRON's death roll, you are dead. So I would recommend that you have your potions set up correctly. I'd recommend swiftness potion. I'd recommend having iron skin potion as standard. I'd recommend having a danger sense potion to keep an eye on zombies that might be coming in. Regeneration potion is very important, of course, as well. And I would also recommend that if you have a Torrents potion or any extra damage potions that you can use, make sure you use those too. When it comes to accessories, the two most important accessories in this fight will be the frog's legs and the spiked necklace. And the weapon that you'll be using is the bee's knees. So I highly recommend having the bee's knees by this stage, the slime mount, the frog's legs, and the spiked necklace. The potions, of course, you can mix and match depending on what you want. And the reason why I recommend having the spiked necklace is for armor penetration. Armor penetration against SKELETRON is very important because he has very high armor. I recommend the frog's legs so that you can have a maximum jump height with one click of the spacebar button on PC, of course, or the jump button on console. And I'd recommend having the slime mount so that you can keep above SKELETRON when he's doing his death roll. I recommend the bee's knees because it does a lot of damage to him and his hands, especially at the beginning. And you can mix and match with extra accessories as you see wish. So the first thing I'd recommend obviously is waiting until 7:30 to start the fight. Don't start it too late in the evening or he will kill you in one shot if it becomes the next day before the fight's over. So start at 7:30 and of course he will spawn. So I always use auto pause at the beginning of the fight to see if I have made sure I haven't made any mistakes, because it's always very easy to make mistakes when you're preparing for SKELETRON. And then of course, if you have prepared everything that I've literally just said, you should be fine in defeating SKELETRON, even if you make a couple of mistakes during the fight. SKELETRON is very difficult. You have to watch out for his death roll. I personally use the bee's knees, and I use the bee's knees to aim for his head. If you aim for his head, the bees will kill his arms, and you'll still have some damage done to his head before the second phase begins. Honestly, the bee's knees will tear him apart in all modes. All you have to worry about is don't get hit by the death roll, especially in his second phase. So just keep maneuvering around them. As I mentioned, have a nice long arena so that you can move from left to right very easily. That's the most important thing. And have the slime mount so that you can jump very high very quickly and get above him whenever he's in his death roll. You can actually use the slime mount to bounce off his head when he's in death roll. He will still do a little bit of damage to you, but it won't be as much as it would have been if you didn't have the slime mount. You'll bounce away. The reason why the death roll is so bloody deadly is because it pretty much micro stuns you and you can't get out of it normally. So having the slime mount is very important to bounce away from him and create distance between you and, well, Skeletron, of course. Because if you get stuck in that death roll without slime mount, or if you don't have a way of getting away from him, he will literally just constantly stun you and chain stun you until you're dead. So I always recommend making sure that you have the slime mount. It's probably the most important item to have. And then, of course, the bee's knees, the spike necklace, and the frog's legs. Because of the slime mount, you don't really need to have the frog's legs as much, but it's still important to be able to jump to the maximum height just before you take out the slime mount. As you can see a couple of times in this fight, I literally jump to the highest I can with the frog's legs, then take out the slime mount, and I go even higher. It just propels me to the top of the arena very quickly. And I don't even have a fully upgraded character in this footage, so you could actually be stronger than this if you wanted to. I personally use space armor for this fight because it has good armor, and of course meteor armor in general is just a very good item up until the end of pre-hard mode. And the Skeletron is one of my favorite fights in the game, but it is one of the more difficult ones as well. So as you can see here, we're taking on Skeletron pretty easily. We got hit a little bit by his death roll, but it was at the end of it, so we should be fine. And in general, the fight should be over very, very quickly with the bee's knees. It's absolutely tearing him apart. If you have any questions, make sure you ask. When it comes to bosses, it's very personal preference how you defeat them. But I feel like a couple of these tips will be very helpful to anyone who's trying to take on Skeletron in expert mode for the first time, or is having trouble with him in master mode. Any mode at all, and this will help. I can guarantee it. I've done it 1,000 times, and Skeletron is one of my favorite fights. So that is exactly how you defeat Skeletron, which opens up the rest of the game, and it opens up the ability to use the dungeon. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's anything I forgot, or if I didn't explain anything correctly or enough, just let me know and I will leave you a comment in return. And just make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe. Check out our Terraria expert playthrough that we have going on at the moment, and you can watch a full playthrough of what happened in this footage and in my playthrough in general. Thank you very much for hanging out with us today, and I'll see you again soon. Ta-ta!